Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good
Morning Bay.
आप सभी लोगों का तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते नमस्कारा
Namaskar.
वनकम
Khushamdeed.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Sat Shri Akal.
మీకందరికీ వందనము
Jai Swaminarayan.
जय श्री कृष्ण
Jai Jinendra.
एंड ऑफ कोर्स हमारे सारे इस्माइली भाई बंधु को बोलेंगे याली मदद एंड मोनाली बदन हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे मैं से फालतू बाबा
And of course, myself, Faltu Rani, लेकर आपके लिए एक और Good Morning Bay. Totally exciting and totally Mastani Bandujani. Yes, one more week has gone by. Oh my God.
I know, right? One more week has gone by. मतलब we are already counting at day number 49 Bandajan right now.
Yeah.
And अगर आप सोच रहे हो, oh my God, 49 days हो गया, हाँ, कल तक तो 50 हो जाएगा. And let me tell you one thing, you are listening to your Radio Day49 network right now. And if you want to, if you want to join us right now on the show, it's very simple. All you have to do is call on the number 4089122479. 4089122479 the number to call us on Bandajan. We actually have the lines open for you guys. Now you might wonder why. What is the point of keeping lines open? Well, Bandajan, the thing is, we actually give the power in your hands. As you know, with the only radio show which actually broke all the so-called barriers, right, Faltwani? We broke all the barriers in terms of radio part of it. People wondering, oh my God, what is radio all about? We changed the whole thing. Radio is supposed to be all sitting into one particular studio and everybody giving out thing. It was more of a one-way talk initially.
Right.
I was reading up the history of radio some time ago, but that's how I realized how we have revolutionized radio. Radio initially was just a one-way message from one point, like people on the mic, behind the mic, and somebody on the other side of the speaker, right? So the speaker as in I'm talking about the radio, right? So it was like a one-way talk. Then after what happened was there was an advent of telephones which came in where we actually could connect with the listeners, right?
Correct.
So right now what happened was there was just a point of where listeners chiming in their thoughts and everything, but what we do with radio is different, Bandajan. We actually give you information, views, reviews, everything, right? Not only on radio, but we also give it to you on our Facebook page. That is online. Because online is considered media, right?
Yeah.
So we have a website or news blog which is totally a should I say, or should I, okay, I will go ahead and use the word which I should not be using anyways because it's just labeling people. A very secular website.
Right.
Called MediaMahima.com, which is not funded by any kind of big organization. So we give you the news the way we see it.
Right.
So it's about reporting. We're trying to stay true to the purpose of what a journalism is. Right? Journalism actually is about reporting more than anything else, not about sharing views. So when you see things on the news blog of Media Mahima, probably you'll see more reporting stuff. The blogs, in opinion, will be there for sure. Will be editorial where we share opinions. That's what we do on our radio shows as well. So हम लोग जो भी आपके साथ share करते हैं on the radio just gets recorded on our Media Mahima as well, right? That is our news blog, right? एक और चीज जो है जहाँ पे आप हमें connect कर सकते हो तो our app for sure, 24/7 app है, entertainment है, as in it's totally all about Vidya, but no, just kidding. It's all about entertainment. 24/7 you have some wonderful music playing for you guys, which we handpicked for you guys. The music which we love to listen to, we make sure you guys can listen to as well. Now, what we also do, Facebook page, we are live on Facebook, as you guys know. Many of you already have joined the stream. Thank you so much for that. Our Facebook stream on radio is our radio Facebook stream is facebook.com/Radio Day49. Again, facebook.com/Radio Day49. This is Good Morning Bay, and I do understand Good Morning Bay. We have to give you customary, we have to give you updates of what's happening around the world in the Bay Area and everything. So one thing which I really like doing is giving you an update of what's happening on the roads. So लीजिए का पेश है आपके लिए रास्ते का हाल एकदम टोटल सस्ते में.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, then we also reported to you guys last week itself when on Thursday or Wednesday when they actually said that they're extending from May 3rd onwards. Yes, the COVID shelter in place has been extended through May, end of May, right? So we don't know what's going to happen after that, right? But thing is, there are some restrictions which are being eased up right now, as in some of the businesses have been asked to operate. In other words, given an opportunity to go back and operate, like manufacturing to ek cheez hai hi, and also there's also something called as I think manufacturing and what else, Faltwani? I think emergency services, right?
No, childcare for essential service providers.
Yeah, and something else also there, manufacturing and something I remember. Okay, anyway, the point is
we
not.
read out that list and we also posted the infographic. right?
Correct. So you can go check it out. In fact, our news blog, Media Mahimal, carries information that as well. But not all businesses are operational. So obviously the salons and everything are strictly asked not to open as yet. Because they still think movie theaters, malls, salons, restaurants even, they actually have this thing where they say that they could become the epicenter for the disease, and hence they have been asked to stay closed until they get a handle on this particular thing, right, Nabaljan?
Right.
And we will update you on the news for sure about that. But looking at the traffic, I would just say one thing, traffic is pretty light as usual. There are some places where you can see some congestion, but the point is, yes, businesses are coming up. The traffic on the roads has increased, and I'm not kidding, Banajan. I'm giving you a first-hand account of that. I actually was able to hear the hum of the traffic in the mornings, Father. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You actually start realizing that there was so much of noise you've been creating.
Yeah.
And actually, you hear. I stay almost like around 2 miles from the freeway. 2 miles, say, Father, I could hear the hum on it. Really, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, it was very disturbing to me. In fact, I like the quiet and everything. So call you out those people who are going to be requesting for the shelter place to happen at least 1 week in a year.
Yeah.
And that's something which I'm going to definitely see who is forwarding, and I'm going to support them for sure. If you want to, or if you want me to start forwarding the bill, I don't mind doing that also, Fadrani. Right?
Oh, wow.
But anyway, right now, Bachchan, I will tell you, we're going to get into our Gane Ka Khida, right?
Right,
आज
absolutely.
सोमवार है फाल्तनी सोमवार शिवजी का दे है यार
नहीं,
तो मैंने सोचा एक शिवजी का गाना हो जाए
फिर से शंकरा रे शंकरा आलतू बाबा
No,
मैं मार दूंगी
Faltani.
तेरे को.
No, Re Baba, you will like this song. You know, after a very long time, bringing back Mithun and Bacha.
Oh,
And you know who? Whose voice is that?
Mohit Chauhan.
Yes. From the movie Shivaya.
Oh, another Ajay Devgan movie.
Correct.
तू आँख जो खोले तो ढाए कहर तो बोलो हर 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 तो बोलो हर हर हर
आदि ना अंत है उसका वो सबका ना इनका उनका वही है माला वही है मन का मस्त मलंग वो अपनी धुन का अंतर मंत्र तंत्र ज्ञानी है सर्वज्ञ स्वाभिमानी मृत्युंजय है महाविनाशी ओंकार है इसी की वाणी इसी की वाणी इसी की वाणी भांग धतूरा बेल का पत्ता तीनों लोग इसी की सत्ता विष पी कर भी अडिग अमर है महादेव हर हर है जपता वही शून्य है वही इकाई वही शून्य है वही इकाई वही शून्य है वही इकाई जिसके भीतर बसा शिवाय की जिसके लिए जगत है झांकी जटा में गंगा चांद मुकुट है सौम्य कभी कभी बड़ा विकट है आग से जन्मा है कैलाशी शक्ति जिसकी तरस की प्यासी है प्यासी राम भी उसका रावण उसका जीवन उसका मरण भी उसका तांडव है और ध्यान भी वो है अज्ञानी का ज्ञान भी वो है नाग तीसरी जब ये खोले हिले धरा और स्वर्ग भी डोले गूंज उठे हर दिशा से तुझ में नाद उसी का बम बम बोले वही शून्य है वही इकाई, वही शून्य है वही इकाई, वही शून्य है वही इकाई, जिसके भीतर बसा शिवाय।
तो बोलो हर हर हर
कैलाश जाप कर विनाश जा, जा कैलाश जाप कर विनाश जा, जा कैलाश कर विनाश जा, जा कैलाश।
Father, sorry, you told me you got a headache, right, Father?
Yeah, thank you, because...
Hey, you got to fight fire, Father.
Oh, really?
Hey, don't you think this is so energetic? You feel like actually climbing a mountain right now. No, you don't?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
what?
do. Like a mountain filled with those murder hornets.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Murder? What? Seriously?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's like you're like, oh, this fills you with energy to climb a mountain. No, thank you.
What?
No,
Oh
no,
my
no,
God,
no.
Faltoni, this is the time. Anyway, Bajan, I'll tell you what. Don't worry about that. But Faltoni actually is like, I think she's reading too much of news. She's reading right
No,
now.
I'm not reading too much of the news. I've just not been able to. Well, never mind. I'm having a great day, Altubaba.
I like the positive refocusing of your mind.
Yes.
And of course, Bajan, let me tell you one thing. We are going to go jump into our news updates for you guys because we have a ton of things to share with you guys, Faltoni. And when you do this, Faltoni, you generally start off with a very nice, funny, kind of, not funny, I would say heartwarming kind of news you share with us sometimes.
Yes.
Why don't we start with that way? So,
Yes.
our day starts off with a very good, our week starts off in a good note.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this, Banjan. You were sharing about the different businesses that are open. So if your landscaper or your gardener is saying that, oh, shelter in place, we're not coming, well, think again and change your landscaper or change your gardener, because they have been allowed to start work, and some construction work has also started.
Yeah.
So you might want to get in touch with them. But let me tell you, Banjan, one very, very cute news item that I found,
Please share.
which is thanks to CNN.
Uh-huh.
Because you know what is America's favorite dog?
Oh, let me guess.
Yeah.
It has to be the cute stuff which I have in my house.
Okay, what is it?
Labrador.
Labrador retrievers, right? They have been
just-
America's favorite dog.
Uh-huh.
That's right, for the 29th year in a row. What? The Labrador retriever has kept its title as America's top dog. But guess what?
What?
The Pembroke Welsh Corgi, with its stubby legs, adorable smile,
I
and
don't wanna
even
know.
cuter butt,
I just
has
don't wa-
jumped to the top 10.
I just don't want to know. I feel sorry for the corgi. You know why?
Why?
Corgi to me actually seems like something which went wrong.
No, man, it's actually a purebred. It's a very popular
Dude,
purebred.
did you know the corgi, poor thing, it's so short?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
And it's got a nice, cute butt. Have you seen corgis walk?
It's so difficult. They walk with such difficulty. My God, Father, how could you even say such things?
Well,
Father?
either ways, they have jumped into the top 10 of America's most popular purebreds. I just thought for every dog lover out there, this is some really good news. And if you have a corgi or you're looking to adopt, oh my God, there's such wonderful animals that are up for adoption, Altubaba. It's really, really sad. They're like these puppies to, even dogs that are 8-9 years old. Unfortunately, they've been abandoned by their owners because some of them have health conditions. And they just, people just leave them on the road corner. They leave them, they let them out of the house, and nobody claims them. And often these dogs are put to death. If you can, I would suggest reach out to your ASPCA and see if there is any way that you can, I believe, or at least I was raised to believe, that you are blessed if you're able to take care of of a mute animal,
Oh, wow.
like a dog, right?
That's so sweet, Father. I think it's true. There's truth to it.
It's not about us giving them, it's not about us feeling sorry and giving them a home, but
No.
them giving us an opportunity to take care of them.
They give us more than we can even think of, right, Faltwani?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, at least. I don't know about you guys, but I might be biased because I'm a dog lover.
Yeah. Me too. Well, according to the American Kennel Club's ranking of the most popular dog breeds of 2019, the Corgi has now entered the top 10.
Okay.
And the list is based on the 1.4 million puppies registered to the AKC last year. And it ranks 193 breeds that the AKC recognizes.
So people who are wondering what AKC is, it is the American Kennel Club, Banjan.
Yeah, and they don't recognize the golden doodles, the Maltipoos, or other mixed breeds.
Yeah, they only go for the cute ones.
Yes,
I didn't
exactly.
say that.
The
Oh,
purebreds.
I didn't say that. Okay.
No, that's absolutely right. The purebreds, which make up more than half of all mixed breeds, are mostly half of all the pet dogs in all of America, according to the 2011 National Multi-Census. But just wanted to share that, I'm also so happy that it's a Lab Retriever because that's
very
one of
good.
my favorite dogs. And I also have another favorite now.
What is that?
That is, of course, the German Shepherds, which we grew up also with German Shepherds.
That's true.
There's one particular German Shepherd that I totally love. So shout out to you, Bruno.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And of course, let's go on over Altu Baba. Today is, what's the date today? May 4th. So tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah.
So Taco Bell is offering a taco bar kit so you can celebrate Cinco de Mayo at home in style. Because nothing can keep people from enjoying their tacos.
What are you talking about?
Tacoing about, yes. But the Taco Bell is offering a taco bar kit so you can celebrate Cinco de Mayo at home in style. And there was this whole big thing that I heard on the California Report, which was something about some Mexican bars offering a free is it a Corona? I don't know, some beer, not Corona, sorry, my bad, some beer or a drink if you're able to produce a bill of eating Mexican food.
What?
But Taco Bell is not counted.
What?
Yeah.
Not fair.
Yeah, as long as you say that you've consumed Mexican food, they will give you a free beer. Which group is this? I don't know. I'll try to find that and I'll post it on
Seriously?
Facebook. Yeah.
What is this, man?
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's go on over to the grim stuff. Vanjan.
There's grim stuff also, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
President Trump has shifted his estimate of the American coronavirus deaths. During a Fox News town hall this weekend, he said that the U.S. could lose up to 80,000 to 90,000 people to this disease. And now, just this morning, it was revised to 100,000 people. 2 weeks ago, the estimate was 50,000 to 60,000. However, top medical experts like Deborah Birx say that the final death toll will be much higher, between 100,000 and 240,000. So far, the virus has taken at least 67,000 lives in the United States. It's also raging in Russia, which saw its record-breaking fourth day of COVID-19 cases on Sunday. The virus has exploded there in recent weeks, with case numbers now firmly in the 6 digits. Things are looking better elsewhere. Spain recorded its lowest death toll in 6 weeks as eager citizens spent the weekend soaking up the sun and relaxed lockdown restrictions. Italy and India are also lifting some lockdown measures. I will give you updates on what's happening in India shortly. Vaccines. Scientists are working as part of the White House's task force to develop a vaccine for the coronavirus, and they've honed in on 14 different vaccines to test and develop. The project is called Operation Warp Speed, and it will focus on finding solutions to quickly ramp up production, organize distribution, and determine who gets the first doses of the vaccine. The government will also begin shipping tens of thousands of courses of remdesivir early this week. As we had reported previously, Gilead's remdesivir seems to have worked really well for in test trials, and experimental trials of this drug showed that it shortened the duration of the illness in patients with severe COVID-19. According to Gilead Sciences, the makers of the drug, the government will decide where the medicine goes. The company hopes it can produce 1 million treatment courses by the end of the year. In terms of business as usual, so to speak, the US, US states are plowing ahead with the reopening, even as Trump warns that the death toll could reach 100,000 people. Ohio and other US states on Monday plan to ease more restrictions on businesses as President Donald Trump acknowledged that as many as 100,000 Americans could die in the pandemic that has also decimated the U.S. economy. In Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine was allowing construction and manufacturing to reopen on Monday and letting office workers return. Retail shops and many consumer services were due to resume operations on May 12th. To reopen, businesses are required to meet some state requirements that workers wear face coverings, they stay at least 6 feet apart, and employers sanitize their workspaces. DeWine has urged as many workers as possible to work from home. So whoever is able to work from home, they're encouraging them to work from home. Also, the U.S. Senate is returning to Washington amid concerns about coronavirus risk. Mitch McConnell is insisting that all the senators need to come back. So U.S. senators have returned to Washington for the first time in nearly 6 weeks on Monday amid concerns that their legislative sessions could put lawmakers and staff at risk of contracting the new coronavirus. The House, on the other hand, is going to remain closed, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she's going to follow the instructions of the White House, the House physician, basically saying that they should not return till May 11th because they do not have adequate testing kits. In fact, the Senate returning also is being frowned upon by many people because they're putting people at risk at this point. And of course, Donald Trump offered the Senate and the House the opportunity to have as many test kits as possible, but in a surprisingly joint, what do you call a camaraderie, so to speak, both Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi issued a joint statement saying that they declined the support of the White House, and they said that they do not want the testing kits because they think that the nation needs it more than them. So I guess we are waiting to see what's going to happen. Is the House going to return next week at all or not? The Senate was due to reconvene at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to address partisan differences over the next step in legislation to combat the pandemic and to scrutinize a series of nominations for senior government posts put forward by President Donald Trump. And that's why Mitch McConnell is insisting that people should come back to the Senate. In terms of what's happening in the local scene, right? Remember, they said Governor Newsom issued a thing saying that all the beaches, including the Orange County beaches, now need to be shut down just after their local counties opened up. Remember, all those pictures came out? And lawsuits have been filed. 2 Orange County cities attempted to legally challenge California Governor Gavin Newsom's beach shutdown order, which failed for now, but the battle between local and state officials over the shoreline is going to continue. Huntington Beach, Dana Point, and various local private businesses in Orange County requested a temporary restraining order in the Orange County Superior Court on Friday that blocked Newsom's executive beach closure order and kept beaches open in those cities. Orange County plaintiffs argued that the beach shutdown infringed on their constitutionally protected right and authority to make their own decisions regarding the status of their beaches. So if you want to catch up on this news story also, Bandujan, and how this is going down, you can go to mediamahima.com. Of course, if you're wondering what is Dr. Fauci saying about all of this, well, we've heard a lot from Dr. Fauci. Why not talk about what Dr. Deborah Birx is saying, right? The coordinator for the White House coronavirus response effort says it is devastatingly worrisome to see crowds of demonstrators who are protesting stay-at-home orders while also refusing to follow social distancing guidelines and wear masks. So, asked about demonstrations last week where crowds swarmed Michigan's Capitol building, some brandishing firearms. That's
really?
right. Yeah.
Firearms.
Yes, and these are like really, even here it's happening. Big protesters at Sacramento. Dr. Deborah Birx told Fox News on Sunday, she told Chris Wallace, who was the host of that protesters may inadvertently jeopardize the health and lives of their family members. And this is her quote specifically: "It's devastatingly worrisome to me personally because if they go home and infect their grandmother or their grandfather who has a comorbid condition and they have a serious or a very unfortunate outcome, they will feel guilty for the rest of their lives," said Birx. So again, if you are protesting, and I know I see a lot of people go ahead and protest on Facebook. Yeah, I'm saying that. Don't go and protest in person. Still shelter at home and protest. You know what I mean? Like there are people who are posting on Facebook about supporting this. This fight against the stay-at-home orders and everything, right, Alto?
That's good. That's good. Please do that. Do that.
Yeah.
Staying at home though.
Yeah. You remember I told you about these murder hornets earlier?
Yeah, I don't know. See, I told you you're reading too much of news.
Well, this is a type of an Asian giant hornet. Okay, just like when you think that the COVID-19 was not bad enough, and people say it's very ominous, right? That you have this virus, this microscopic thing that is like unleashing so much havoc. For the first time, these Asian giant hornets, okay, have been spotted in the United States, specifically in Washington state. And scientists say the beekeepers have reported piles of dead bees with their heads ripped off. An alarming sight in the country with a rapidly declining bee population. And if bee population declines, Manujan, it's very bad for the environment, right?
Yeah, we won't be there anymore.
Oh God! Did you just?
Hey!
Just spun on that,
This
did
is
ya?
very bad for news for China right now.
What?
The Trump is going to come back and tweet and say China sends us hornets.
Do you know why this is happening? Because these hornets are murderers.
No, they actually are just parasites.
No, what they do, they're 2 inches long, okay?
Yeah, they're big. I
They're
know.
the world's largest hornets with a sting that can kill humans if stung multiple times. And according to experts at the Washington State University, these giant insects are nicknamed murder hornets. They're something of a monster cartoon with this huge yellow-orange face.
Yeah.
These particular hornets actually cause the death of bees too.
They do. And Vanujan, I don't know. I don't think, as far as my knowledge goes about Discovery Channel, this particular hornet has got no predators.
What?
It's kind of top of the chain. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it's going to be hard to actually get rid of those.
They don't know how they ended up in Washington State. Apparently, the United States doesn't have a population of this.
See, and
particular-
that's why Trump was that we require a wall there.
Dude, this almost what's that? The Mothman prophecy? Yeah, what is
No,
that?
please don't.
Like, it's like-
you read too much of conspiracy. Oh my
it's like
God.
scary.
It's not so scary. Leave it. It's fine. My goodness.
And these things, right? These murder hornets are like, they actually go and attack honeybee hives. They kill adult bees, and they eat up the bee larvae and the pupae. Yeah.
Father, really, you have to actually get that going.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, this is, if you have something to worry about, here you go. There's something else that you can worry about.
Oh, you got more stuff first to worry about?
No. Well, one thing. Okay, let me tell you something nice.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You remember UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson?
You said something nice.
Yeah. Well, he and his partner, that is his fiancée, Carrie Simmons, have named their newborn son. They have a baby.
Let me guess. COVID?
No!
Oh, sorry. Okay.
They've named the child after the doctors who attended to
Close enough.
Boris Johnson and helped him recover. He says it could have gone either ways, apparently, for him. So the newborn son's name is Wilfred Laurie Nicholas Johnson, and this baby.
That's why I tell people who actually are protesting against opening up the thing.
Uh-huh.
I know there is pain, but actually speaking, the accounts of people who actually been through COVID is not very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think we should have the empathy to say, okay, fine, we understand. Let's see what best we can do to, get rid of this virus at least, or get healthy,
Right.
Just because you're healthy doesn't mean you got to open up and everything. I understand. There's also one school of thought which says that, oh, okay, fine, COVID is here to wipe out the people who could not survive.
Correct.
And nature survival of the fittest. Please, it's not. I think that was just a Darwinian theory. I think it's as old as Darwin himself. So.
Well, it's a fact of nature, right? It is survival of the fittest, and that doesn't mean that.
Fitness does not mean there's got to be in terms of or health. Could be in terms of love also. Let's see how much of love we can give our people.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But there's one thing, Bandujan. I know many people are like lapping up COVID news. one thing that we will definitely tell you is a good resource to go check out. If you remember, Dr. Ronnie Sinha comes on Health 360, right?
Yeah.
On Pam Pam every Tuesday evening. He's on from 5:30 onwards.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Ronnie Sinha clearly said this is not something that's just going to go away with a shelter-in-place order.
Yeah.
This is not something that's just going to disappear like that, because it is a coronavirus, and there are many forms of coronavirus that have been existent since God knows when.
Yeah.
Because we have the cold, we still are susceptible to the cold. Many of us have that bout. The flu, we still are susceptible to the flu. This is another one. The only thing is we need to develop immunity for it, and the way you develop immunity for it is by reducing the cytokine storm. Now, see, I've been doing my reading. Why? What are cytokines? Well, Dr. Ronnie Sinha has come out with an ebook, and it's free ebook. You can go to bit.ly/COVID resource page, bit.ly/COVID resource page. Download this book and read it. It's a very short read, but in that he specifically talks about how do you build immunity towards any form of a coronavirus infection. Because the most important thing is, yes, we are going to get sick. There are going to be new every organism wants to survive, right? They're going to mutate. They're going to learn how to be able to survive themselves.
Yeah.
It is not that they're attacking us. It's the fact that we are going to be susceptible to these infections, but the key is to build a strong enough immune system, because naturally we are blessed with an immune system to be able to fight this. And how do you do that? Is by making those key lifestyle changes and certain things that you do to make sure that you're COVID resistant.
So, in fact, I posted the link right here, Balajan. Go check it out. It's called bit.ly/COVID resource page. COVID resource page.
That's right.
And in fact, also posted on the Facebook postings, so you can go click on that as a hyperlink and go check it out for sure.
And the only reason I'm asking you to read this is because many people have actually read it, and even I have read it, Panjan, and I think it is exceptionally important, because there are so many risk factors. Initially, they just said shortness of breath, they said difficulty breathing, high fevers, but there's so much more that's got added to it. Headaches, body aches, we had so many incessant sneezing. There are so many different risk factors, that symptoms that have been added to the COVID infection. So please do read this particular book and make yourself better prepared to handle any kind of an infection, whether it is yourself or anybody in the family as well. And there is a news item that KQED did, Altu Baba, and this was actually something where they talked about how not to believe every news item that you're reading about the COVID. It says that from the start of the pandemic, science news has unfolded at a dizzying pace and crushing volume. But they are also saying that the speed of science research has gone into overdrive, and the media horde is hungry for answers. But science is meant to be a slow process of asking questions and then submitting answers to the kind of vigorous probing ordinary people devote considerable energy to avoiding. So when people are saying that, oh, there's this vaccine that's developed, that treatment that's developed, you really need to be careful when you're reading up on all these news stories. Before you share them, go and find out. They're talking about how you need to look at the resources. Are they peer-reviewed articles? Are they, is it a legitimate thing, or is it something that some company, even Big Pharma does it? Apparently, they'll just invest in people writing up these blogs, which are more like advertorials. So that's another thing that you need to be really careful about. If you want to get an update on what's going on with the coronavirus lockdown in India, Bandajan, let's tell you, daily recoveries in India are up to a record high, but the government is warning against complacency. Total COVID-19 cases in India have crossed the 42,500 mark. As per the latest update by the Union Health Ministry, over 1,350 people have died due to the virus across the country, while the global toll has crossed 3.5 million. The lockdown in India has been extended until May 17th. And in fighting COVID-19, India has shown how democracy, discipline, decisiveness can come together to create a genuine people's movement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is saying. And in terms of the last 24 hours, 1,074 COVID-19 patients have recovered, Banujan, and the highest number of recoveries in one day, apparently. And they're saying that India could be the country that hits herd immunity the fastest.
Yeah.
And that is good news. Also, the government of India has said on Monday that it will arrange special flights to bring back Indian nationals who are stranded abroad, but the facility will be offered only on a payment basis. Non-scheduled commercial flights would be arranged for air travel. The travel would begin in a phased manner from May 7th. The facility would be made available on a payment basis, the government has said. This comes amid reports claiming that the government is charging homebound migrant workers for their train journeys while bearing the cost to evacuate Indians stranded abroad. So they are going to charge Indians who are stranded abroad who want to come back home on a payment basis. Well, that's pretty much what we have for you with regard to the economy. Yes, we are taking a beating. And J. Crew is another company that has filed for bankruptcy.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's, really not much to report over there. But if you want to catch up on all these news stories, you can go to MediaMahima.com. We will see you tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show, Banjan. Most importantly, stay happy, stay healthy, stay connected, and stay positive. We will see you tonight.
आदि ना अंत है उसका वो सबका ना इनका उनका वही है माला वही है मन का मस्त मलंग वो अपनी धुन का अंतर मंतर तंत्र ज्ञानी है सर्वज्ञ स्वाभिमानी मृत्युंजय है महाविनाशी ओंकार है इसी की वाणी
Have a magnificent Monday.
तो दूरा बेल का पत्ता तीनों लोग इसी की सत्ता विश भी कर भी अडिग अमर है महादेव